Welcome back to my lovely HP community, the 5D collective, and all of those who are experiencing the depth of the mental, emotional, and physical planes with lightness. And so we're going to begin with the number one equation. You can mindfully and with your own volition, because you care to have the depth of a relationship with yourself, okay? So pleasure, sensuality, excitement, and connection, the core of you and your feelings. When you have sadness, anger, frustration, any of that which will have a person who does not experience themselves with mindfulness practices and spirituality, and so you're not yet with the window welcome. Okay, fear, anger, misery, frustration, depression, and despair are all products of a mind that you have not taken charge of. So people who have insecurities, again, they are out there. They don't use their body, their brain, and their entire system with joyous, exuberant, and ecstatic emotions because they have yet to master integration of the brain. And some might not move here. We don't know, because that's for the therapists that they would go to give them a plan and to continue. Okay, so it's always a day of the living for those who choose aliveness, and that's with the good therapist you regain the sense of self that you will have paused having to have with childhood trauma. So people who are paused, not lost, they can use Patrick Tiahan, as he shares, when a child grows up in an abusive, dysfunctional, or toxic family, they will get stuck in developmental processes. And that is why the sense of self will not be theirs. But with the year being 2024, there's smart and good therapists like Patrick Tiahan who support these people to get their self back online, and then they can, when and if they're ready, work with us to keep on loving more, being more, and bringing forth that which is joy, exuberance, and the ecstatic vibrancy of a restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating, healthy other. Okay, and so with that, healthy doesn't mean you don't do any of the wine or the smoking, or no, you do moderation. And this is one of the other reasons why some people who are going to maintain what is an ancient time talk, they don't like seeing polyamory, they don't like seeing pronouns. They think that we are the reason why there is not order, while the reason we have not order is because there's a disorganized attachment. There's a world that works a little bit like a Diego, and we have people who are pushing still for that. And those people are the shame button people who in fact use the ancient stories, and they continue to try to divide with shaming, blaming, faulting, and revengeful tactics, and they're just very small energies. But at this time, let me try and hone in. For our messages are always going to be for you and I, for the individual, personal development, and self-help. So if we want stability in our family, society, nation, and the world, we need to create stability in individual human beings. And so once you are able to consistently show up, it's because you know how to self-regulate, attune, right? And to be here as a 5D frequency, you know all about the equal role in your life of your divine feminine, open heart, open body, and divine masculine, open mind, and then the masculine, the left mode, and the feminine is the right mode. That's how I organize it, and they come together, and now we have a pair, and it's your integrated brain, and you're not scanning self and others. So your brain becomes a conduit in its integrated form, and you are able to process mindfully and or spiritually emotions, thoughts like a grown-up with all your child parts. Okay, that's why emotions are not painful. They are aware, and then resiliency, and you expand that energy body consistently. Welcome aboard. If you're a mystic, then you will have had some expansion take place. And let me see if there's any more quotes that I wanted to share with you all from our lovely Sadhguru. As he shared, I'm not trying to give answers. I want you to deepen your questions in such a way that truth becomes the only authority in your life. I, on the other hand, will add, because truth is when you can know that your thoughts and emotions are not irrefutable facts, as our neuroscientists and our good trauma experts have been sharing. So that's number one. You being the owner of your 14-month-old So knowing your implicit bias, explicit, your likes, dislikes, and then knowing how to become flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable. So an inner child, adult, integrated brain, a securely attached person, which is why when you meet people who say it's your fault, polyamory, that we have issues, you say, okay, wow, you know what, thank you so much for pointing out to me your opinion. I think I should go then, right? I think it's good. That's how it works when you are a person who has a ego self that's a healthy other. It's I'm a Pacha, not a Cusco. Adaptive child parts are rigid. They are people who don't know how to use their words. In fact, they don't even know how to use their entire brain. And we leave it alone. They keep blaming Lucifer for what is unresolved trauma, and they want Diego's family type. They want the disorganized attachment to continue being what our world is. So they continue to use fear, shame-mongering tactics, including they use God and Holy Spirit again, and they use all of that, which we will know of. The 5D collective knows of that because we're not susceptible to manipulation. The smart people. It's called emotional, mental, and physical intelligence. So you know how to differentiate between those who are healthy other. So again, healthy other, we are able to feel deep feelings at our core because we don't shove it down with the shame fucking business or the shame drinking business or the shame drugging business or the distraction, the avoiding, the deflecting of the insecure, unhealthy other business who then follows those people in the fancy suits, okay? So they dampened their response to their self. That's why they have all these fancy ways to make it sound like they know what they're talking about. They'll know about spiritual bypassers. They'll know about mantles of mental health. What will give it away is that they won't be having more pleasure, more sensuality, more excitement, and more connection, and more deep feelings. They're going to be the ones saying, there's no way in hell a person doesn't feel pain when they have emotions. They have to feel it hard. And not really, no. Our restorative embodiment knows how to regulate. I mean, I can thank my panic attacks personally, but when ascension energies come up, people that are light, like this right now, you're having a good time. The ones who are still processing insecure stuff, they get the opportunity to welcome what comes up and to say with true compassion, okay, what do I get to do? It's not about giving or taking. It's about doing what is needed. Well, I'm breathing right now. Okay, cool. I'm drinking, I'm eating. So I get to go and say, hey, what's up? I want to have some deep, meaningful, and more talk. And I want to do with people who are intimate with me. Okay, so this is number one on the scale. You're not looking to deflect, avoid, and disregard the emotions. You are welcoming the opportunity to be aware, and then with the self-soothing in the correct, healthy way, you're making it into a now moment, and that's the beauty of being a 5D collective. Mindfulness is like the back of our hand. So Sadhguru, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I know what he's talking about. Integrated brain, restorative embodiment, self. And that's why the only ones who don't know how to feel like this yet are the same ones who, like that Zen master, say that they have laundry instead of saying I have emotions. And they are the people, though, that are needed for those who don't want to do the 5D body type. And that's because they are going to be the idiots who get reached by the people in fancy suits, the masses. Okay, if you want to reach a large audience, appeal to idiots, Schopenhauer. What I have noticed is that a lot of people, they have spiritual bypassing stories for you, and I will point out the Twin Flame Saga individuals and the ones who want to keep using Lucifer, and they in fact pick at the expansion of our society, so they don't know how to welcome that which is a difference. Pronouns, again, polyamory, and when I say welcome, what I mean is they don't know how to accept and understand that the disorganized attachment business that we have going on out there is because of rigidity and ignorant human being brains that are non-bilaterally integrated. They're not integrated. They don't know mindfulness, they don't want to do it, and they're not going to be doing it necessarily. And so that 3D, 4D bandwidth, they are settling into their subjective reality, and they're refusing to accept that it's subjective, which is why they say, my colleagues are against me. And that's why they're divisive. But it's okay because we've always had a world with the very bare minimum, two sides to coin, right? That's your duality. The ones who are the intelligent ones are able to understand how to present to a large audience, because the idiots that this Schopenhauer talks about, they're idiots for reason. It's called they don't know their authentic needs. They don't know how to self-regulate, and their entire demeanor and mannerism involve a body that is in distress, not eustress. And that's the part of their frequency that won't be matching with the 5D. So it is where life will always lead itself to continue living. The only individuals who are not aware of this very basic truth, and why you can't be basically the master of anything. You know how they talk? So here's how I'm going to organize it. When I got to learn about God as a child growing up, now the concept has expanded to this big word consciousness, which to me just means the same, meaning it's all the same. A divine feminine here. I don't need words. I have to use words. My brain completely sees dark matter, dark energy as the same of I have a God who's created everything, and he has already made a decision. I'm not picky about the he, she, it, they thing. That's the other part. You're not going to be like, oh my God, how dare you use a word. So anytime I'm hearing any of that, I'm just like, okay, Cusco, can you please leave territory? Because right now the grown-ups are talking. And really, it's me wanting to have an intelligent elaboration in my brain versus having to deal with what is a person and or people who don't know how to be ego empowered, but they're ego sensitive. And it's not an energy that is anything except for, again, I feel like I have a child in front of me, and now I need to put up with you because I got taught to be polite. That's the only reason and I got taught to be humble, actually, that too. So I learned how to be polite and humble and to just leave it alone. I'm here right now trying to channel for you all something amazing, but also making sure we don't have any stragglers around. So God and dark matter and dark energy are all the same thing, because you can't play big. You can't be bigger than anything that's created anything. It's like when Bill Nye says, if the Matrix were real, you really think you'd be the one who would know about it? So a smart human being, whether you have faith or not, doesn't matter. You're going to know this. The ones who don't know this, well, there's a Cusco for every person who doesn't want to understand what I just said. The reality is it's called your human secondary consciousness, and for smart people, it's not a dilemma. It's a condition, because I can use my prefrontal cortex. And so, with that being said, on this lovely 1010, it's not tragedy. It is more of, well, we're settling into the new era. Really nice. Anyone know what we want to do with our time? Yes, use it where love is at. I love when I meet smart people. They have smart quotes for you. Wherever there is no love, it is a waste of time. I totally agree. So wherever there is no intimacy, you won't be there. You won't be with the facades of those who do not have their own masculine and feminine, and that balance is key. And if they don't know how to see humanity is evolving and we're moving forward, well, they're part of the groups that don't understand what I just said about you don't play big, meaning we each contribute. And my contribution with this channeled guidance is that our lovely enlightened light bodies. So if you are resonating with forgiveness, with the matrix not being something that you need to be afraid of and all that good stuff, and that ability to be in your prefrontal, so new beginnings always, then you have the herald of change at hand, because you own your mind, clarity and organization. So again, mindfully aware means you are wise and playful, so we have a good time. And we don't take rejection as, oh no, I'm so upset. No, it's more of, okay, what am I going to do to have a good time? Well, I'm going to go and be with people who are intimate for real and not pretend. Okay, so there's good talkings. And then there's like our lovely Taurus. So Taurus is a earth sign, and they love family. And they build true family, the ones who are embodying the strength of the Taurus. They are also going to embody a strength of a Taurus if they're flexible, adaptive, energized, coherent, stable. And so saying, I found it hard to believe them. Anybody who denies updated information, just let them keep talking, and they are going to keep on being with unhealthy others. And when they self-select out, again, nobody's cutting any cord. There's no need, because their frequency is of a low energy. It's a sad story for the human suffering love narrative. But hey, They want to keep being there. In fact, they make up a lot of more stories, but we leave them to their stories. That's their solace. In the meantime, the ones of you who are again here, as I was saying, you have been able to notice the difference between a day tripper, the Beatles, and an all my loving, right? And I was made for loving you, but in an independent way, which means that we are each other's expanding consciousness partner, not, oh my God, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, so there's that. We also don't waste time with those who want lust. It's meaninglessness. And we don't feel ashamed, though, if we did not know that we had a facade, because, you need time to notice, is it a person who owns their self, or is it a person who is a fake-o? Well, if it's a fake-o, they'll make themselves clear because they won't text you back, ladies, remember. And then they have people who give them reasons for why. Okay, so we have the power instead of our authentic community, and we get to keep on radically accepting who we are as we are and the people who want to have fun with us. So your 1010 portal is bringing to you people who support you to become more of you, not less. And we do it with consistent happiness, fulfillment, bliss, delight, more. And anybody who doesn't want it, we're like, you know what? Go to the Zen Master and have weighed down conversations. Thank you over there. We like to be here. You can call us toxic positive. We're totally, you know what? Really, it's great. If you really just stay away from me, that's the best thing you could ever do, because that way I don't have to actually put up with you, because I was taught how to be polite. So I am taught to be quiet and not to voice always. Okay, so that is where you have a renewed vitality and a renewed enhanced creativity because of finally hearing enough information that, wow, we can all be mindfully aware in this fun way that Sadhguru has talked about and so many other neuroscientists are talking about. It's a flow state. And to be in that restorative embodiment, which is my birthright, and now we're here. And yes, we're all together, all of us. And no, not the suffering ones. They're like, Maria, but I wanted things my way and it's not going my way and I'm very angry right now. I'm so sorry, tragic human being out there. There's a Zen master for you, because you just stubbed your toe and you sound like the person who said, it's really important to go to therapy. I don't want to do personal development now. I want it now. Okay, there's another there's a neuroscientist for you. That one actually tells you it's impossible to be in flow somehow or something like that. You can go there. Okay, so people who don't want to put their best feet forward, they can go anywhere they want. We're going to be like, bye. We have an enhanced creativity, pleasure. That's because of flow state. So you're rooting in your sacral and your roots. Your lower chakras have been able to consistently root in this healthy, self-soothing, self-regulating, mindfulness, spirituality, what I talk about here, okay? So these are I'm channeling messages right now. I have the cards. Actually, let me show you the ones. That way you can see them, because that way you can understand. So we got carnelian, and if any of these crystals call to you, they're really beautiful. Zinsite. And you might want to, I don't know if you can take a screenshot. I know it's not the best quality, but that way you can have the mandalas and you can look at them because they can activate. Okay, so you're awakening from the dream of pseudo-alive life to aliveness, and you're making it a reality. So healthy self-soothing is this: you're alive. You're not scanning self and other. And the people who have been in the dream state of pseudo-life, it's unfortunate business. They don't use their sacral root, their lower chakras with their higher chakras, because they're not awakened to them. They go and do shame fucking, and they do the visceral, it's the unhealthy self-worth fucking business. That's why they created cards to fuck each other, the tarot card people. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there. Okay, so we leave it alone. Again, 4D, 3D, they have bodies that when the energies are about the stuff that comes up, it's meant to be handled with people like a Pat Ogden, sensory motor, EMDR, child parts work. It's meant for them to stay with those people until they're ready to be like, I don't want to do it, Maria, though. I want to just vent about, okay, go vent, have fun, but you're earned secure attachment at the very bare minimum, okay? So that's where we're at right now. Okay, so awakening from the dream and being alive, which is why Sadhguru knows all about aliveness, and so do I. It's amazing. And I've seen pseudo-aliveness. Those people, they're in their next cycle. And so they are taking that which is lust and shame fucking and thinking of it as their next best fairy tale. And so we leave that alone because their fairy tale is a fake one, and they are going to, I don't know, because I'm not channeling for that group, I'm going to leave it alone. Their frequency is one that they're refusing to awaken their higher chakras. You can't integrate yourself if you're using the dark sides of neuroplasticity, which means if you're using rumination and you're living like the Seven of Cups in a fantasy land, and you're just allowing yourself drugs, alcohol, and the drinking. So when people are using their insecure attachment, not healthy self-soothing mechanisms, they're wiring themselves shut. And right now, again, I'm channeling, so I'm going to be closing my eyes, looking here and there as I share with you all. The other end of the coin is not because we're not around each other. They're going to be armoring themselves shut in. There's always a way for them to regain their life. It's with good therapists, but they need to awaken to that. And that is something that, again, is not mine to talk about. So it's sad business. I've observed this throughout the past years, more than I want to count, because even just one person being armored shut in is sad enough. So I've seen two for sure. And dead eyes are people who are in the dark side of neuroplasticity. So they are in their fight flight. They can be supported to get out of it, but they need to decide to want to go to therapy. And they don't. So there's that for those people. And give me 1 second. You have also learned to speak your lovely truth, self-expression, softness. We have celestite and anhydrite. Hydration is important, but also like you've cleared your throat, and so speaking like sparkling water, bubbly water. So again, you have the energy of playfulness and the pig. You know that the universe will provide, so your inner child adult is coming to life. That's why you're able to have fun with the energies, okay? So here's our celestite and anhydrite, or however you pronounce these. So you've healed aloneness, and you've also healed not feeling heard. You are seen and you are heard with heart, and you know what intimacy is with another. And so you know how to be yourself, and you're very happy. In fact, that's where we're going to head next. That's really beautiful. And don't mind the light. There's unfortunately a cloud around. So, oh yeah, let me make sure I give this enough time in case you want to take that screenshot again for the mandalas. And oh yeah, let me show you, in case you are a person who enjoys getting tarot, this is what it is. Really nice. I was called to them because they offer also attunements to the higher light body that you now embody. Okay, so then we've cleared away all that doesn't serve. You've cleared away all that doesn't serve you, all of the distorted stories of unworthiness that come from your childhood, whatever it is, through therapy and yourself, all of this great stuff, good stuff happening as you heal. Obviously sad about that, we know, but your third eye opening, expanding with crown upgrade and putting it into practice. So some of you, again, with your clairs and with your connectedness. Okay, so here's that. Happiness and co-creating reality with healthy others who want to love and live mindfully and spiritually with you. So again, you know how the lust energy is, and you don't want it, and you know those lack mindset stories, the ancient human beings with their shame stuff, and you're not participating to any of it. So you're not judging or criticizing unhealthy self-worth people, the ones who have insecure attachment and they want to stay in that way. We understand that if they want out, they have a good therapist and more to go to. Okay, and so with that, cobalt aura is how we're going to close out. So you're putting down roots, you're settling into the newness of the heart and cozy that you are for yourself. And you're settling into that with cheer and love, and you know what is true, and you know what relationships are, and you're building your foundation with a tower that's not going to crumble anymore because your true self is with you, and you're bringing that to your relationship. So you're bringing true love for you. You know how to love yourself first, and so you can love another. The star of creation has cleared all untruths and restored all that was forgotten about the truth of what you are. And you are a beautiful, imperfect, but lovable, fun child with a heart, but because we all are imperfect. So I'm sure some people are going to get frustrated with us, but it's okay because we all can be frustrating. That's what it means, okay? But in a healthy way, in a way of fun, in a way of Pacha and Cusco together, but all of us becoming those Pachas. So you know what it feels like to be lovable inside and out, and you know that you can learn to explore life and others from this pure consciousness and pure energy form as a equanimous, mindfully integrated brain and restorative embodied person with self-awareness, accountability, and regulation skills through living and loving, again, mindfully as yourself and spiritually. True spirituality, this lovely enlightenment journey with our lovely Christ consciousness. Thank you for tuning in. We might be back with a little bit more. I'm going to turn on some lights so that I can get to see you all and you can see me better. We will be back with more actually because I have some channeled songs that I want to add. But in the meantime, I want to get some lighting on. So thank you for stopping by.